I believe it was recorded.
Jeez.
Sorry. This is before, no, that's off now.
Does anybody have any questions on this one or further discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna call it to a vote. All those in favor of accepting this? Thank you, it approved unanimously. Okay, on to the next resolution is to approve the following adjustments to the unassigned fund balance to be made no later than June 30th, 2022. Do I have a motion? And seconded by Samantha. Discussion. I just want to thank Carrie for the clarity of the document that you put together. I think it made sense to me, so.
Yep, and just we'll eventually close the loop on this in the fall after the audit's done to give actual numbers, but just as we go into the audit season, we're closing our books just to give the board and the community an idea of what we're planning on to do with any fund balance, just to, so everybody's not surprised with what we do with it, and it shows up on future agendas.
Okay, any other questions, discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor? Passes unanimously, thank you. The next would be to approve the creation of an insurance reserve. Do I have a motion to do that? Peter, seconded by Megan. Discussion?
This happens to be my area. And I just think it's a really great way to protect us going forward. I very much appreciated the idea and the whole premise of it, so well done.
Any other questions, discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously, thank you. The next is to approve to accept the results of the May 17th, 2022 vote for the budget, bus, and equipment purchase, and the 3 Board of Education member seats. And the results were attached to the meeting. They were actually shown on the superintendent's report also. Do I have a motion to accept the results? And seconded by Peter. I just want to thank everyone who came out to vote and show their support of the district by casting your vote. It's appreciated. Any other discussion? Samantha and then Doug.
Just a really quick question. As the person who is on that particular document, should I
Are we supposed
abstain?
to
Should we abstain from this vote?
Because we're directly affected, are we supposed to abstain?
That is a good question.
I don't believe you have to.
Then we don't have a quorum, right?
No, we would have,
You'll have a quorum.
you have a quorum,
Yeah.
four is the quorum. But, yeah, but you're accepting the results.
Yeah, it's your choice. I don't think there's anything that would prevent you from voting for or against it. If you feel more comfortable, you can certainly abstain.
Right.
And you have a quorum, so we wouldn't have an issue.
Yeah,
Actually, we'd have 5.
I mean, I certainly accept the results, but I mean,
Okay.
to Sam's point, we don't want to do anything that's.
Okay. Up to you. Doug, you had
Just a larger perspective question. If we don't certify results to an election, what happens?
Oh,
All right.
You really need to go there.
All right.
a.
Not fun.
It's some levity to it, it's all good. All right. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to call it to a vote. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstentions? You got that, Linda?
1 or 2.
Two
abstentions.
abstentions.
Okay. On the premise of providing.
Thank you. The next resolution would be to approve to accept the results of the budget, bus, and equipment purchases.
Isn't this the same?
Same.
It's the same, isn't it?
It's a different, this one
I
has
think
the
the first
bond
one is for the
resolution.
vote and the second one is for the purchase, correct?
Yeah, it has a bond resolution so that we can
Yeah.
go out to bid for that.
Oh.
And it would just be, yes, Yeah, that's fine. So I'll read the first part of the resolution. Is the motion to approve to accept the results of the May 17th? Oh, shoot. Vote for the budget, bus and equipment purchases. The bond, so then it goes on to say, bond resolution dated June 13th of the Board of Education of the Averill Park Central School District authorizing not to exceed the $809,373 aggregate principal amount of general obligation bonds to finance the acquisition of school buses and a pickup utility truck at an aggregate estimated maximum cost of the $809,373, levy of tax in annual installments in payment thereof, the expenditure of such sum for such purchase, and determining other matters in connection therewith. So that's a little bit different. Just accepting the results. Okay, so now we have a motion to approve the resolution. Peter, seconded by Ann. Further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? It passes unanimously. Thank you. The next is a resolution to accept the memorandum of agreement by and between the Averill Park Central School District and the St. Jude's the Apostolic School, and this is for
Universal pre-K.
the word universal pre-K, yes. So Megan makes a motion, and seconds, discussion.
I just want to say, I think it's wonderful that we are going to be offering this program, and considering some of the sentiment that I've seen in the public, I hope that we can expand it in the future.
Any further discussion? Okay, we'll call it to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Passes unanimously. The next is a memorandum of agreement by and between the Averill Park Central School District and the Averill Park Teachers Association, amendment regarding the extracurricular clubs and activities. Do I have a motion? Jackie, seconded by Megan. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll call it to a vote. All those in favor? Thank you, passes unanimously. The next is a memorandum of agreement by and between the Averill Park Central School District and the Averill Park Teachers Association regarding news stipends. Jackie makes a motion, Megan seconds. Discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll call it to a vote. All those in favor? Passes unanimously, thank you. And the last is a memorandum of agreement by and between the Averill Park Central School District and non-instructional supervisors, managerial confidential personnel, and the school district treasurer dated June 10th, 2022. Do I have a motion? Megan, seconded by Peter. Discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye, passes unanimously. Thank you. That brings us to item number 14, the public comment period. Those wishing to address the board are asked to complete the request form, which is a blue sheet, and submit it to the board clerk in order to be recognized by the Board of Education president. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Visitors are invited to make brief comments or direct questions to the board. Questions are generally not answered during the public comment, but they will be addressed at a later time. And the first blue sheet I have is Stephen Hans. Please come up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know, I'm the CSD president. First of all, I would like to take the time to thank the Superintendent Dr. Francini, the Board of Education, both assistant superintendents, Mr. Honeywell, both negotiating teams, and the voices of the community. You all helped the CSA non-instructional employees to pass a contract that supports the workers, who supports the kids. This is what I hope a start as to where Averill Park, Central School District and CSEA are going in the coming years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that. It's so appreciated. You don't even know. Appreciate that. The next I have is Amanda Passmento.
Hi, sorry, I don't have the same sentiment. As I walked into this room tonight, I don't know who comes in the main entrance, but I walked by on the wall in capitalized neon letters, WHORE. So I'm just wondering how that relates to the 5 pillars of SEL that we're so, connected to here. Additionally, I've been here many times throughout this school year and feel like it needs to be said on the record for the district. As parents and guardians, we want full transparency on what our children are learning, told, shown, and exposed to while at school. I can confidently say, after speaking with a litany of parents from diverse backgrounds in this district, we are all in agreement that if what our children see, hear, and experience at school is not malignant, then why not make it available to the parents? I feel like I have articulated this several times at multiple levels, but it seems to be going unheard and completely disregarded. Just today, my AMS student showed me a quiz that was given in her family and consumer sciences class. Question 1 starts off with, did you know there are folks out there that have little to no sexual attraction to anyone? Again, I will ask, why are we pushing so hard in this district to desensitize our children to sex? These kids are in middle school. They are 11 to 13 years old. Why are we creating such a casual atmosphere to speak of sexual attraction between an adult and a child? Several months ago, I brought up my concerns on these predatory questions being asked to our children, and I was told quite nonchalantly that this type of thing is voluntary by the building principal. In high school, my 14-year-old was shown a very explicit video about sexual consent. While I do appreciate and understand that teenagers are sexually active, I'm wondering, was it necessary to use a video where curse words such as SHIT and DOUCHE bag were used in the video? Is there no other method of teaching consent than using a young girl who is seemingly pretending to be actively engaged in intercourse? While moving her body up and down, she says, and I quote, "How does that feel? Do you like that? Do you want me to keep going?" In a tone that during my teenage years, people had to pay per minute to hear. Is this our new status quo of education? According to RAINN, which is a widely recognized organization that operates the National Sexual Assault Hotline, several of these behaviors, lessons, videos, and discussions this year are textbooks examples of nationally recognized grooming behaviors of predators. Desensitization of sexual topics being a huge one I've seen, as well as trust development and keeping secrets. Being told that answering these sexual-based questions is voluntary seems to fit another standard, an attempt by abusers to make their behavior feel natural. Also, I must mention, in a district where we continually insist that social emotional learning is of utmost importance, why is this not applying to sex ed? Why are we showing videos of sex being nothing more than a means of pleasure? Why aren't we having the real discussions with these teenagers? How having sex does impact your social, emotional health and status? How about how sex can lead to disease, maybe temporary and potentially permanently? Why aren't we discussing pregnancy? Why are we not going beyond the superficial premise that once the deed is done, that's a wrap and there are no consequences, emotionally, financially, mentally, socially, or otherwise? While I praise the man hours that go into running this board, as parents, many of us have also spent hundreds of hours this school year chasing our tails, trying to know what you are showing to our children. I am again asking that the board please work together so that each and every curriculum is available to the parents before it is available to the children. We have summer approaching, and while the majority of teachers at all levels here use Google Classroom, I don't think this request is unobtainable or unreasonable. I've asked this so many times this year, and I would appreciate a response in writing that the district will hold to. I think that these topics, why can't you show those to us and say, hey, is that okay? Parents that have kids that are 20, 30 years old that graduated from here are like, no, Averill Park has to sign a waiver that it's okay to watch something so not even close to what you're doing with our kids. Walking past the word WHORE in the hallway? Really? That's encompassing our values here? We talk about getting our kids college and career ready. If I hung that up in my office at work, do you think that would fly? Do you think that would be okay? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Now it's time for our board member reports. Jackie, do you want to start?
Again, thank you for everyone who came out to the meeting tonight and sharing your concerns, and for the CSCA president for being here. I'm really happy that that contract is settled. I also just wanted to, I don't want to talk too long, but I just wanted to thank the curriculum leaders that were here earlier for the great presentations, and also all the awesome things our students are doing in between, the baseball team and Odyssey of the Mind and all the great field trips everybody's going on. It's nice to see everybody getting back to normal and doing really great things. Our school is really doing some awesome stuff. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Jackie.
It is doing some awesome stuff. Amanda, I think you raised a few good points. Jim, could you give us at a future date the context to that number one question that was referred to by Amanda?
Yep.
I'd just like to know more about that. And that's not something you would necessarily see in a curriculum, by the way. Those are materials that are produced by a teacher to implement the curriculum. And I'd like to see the context in which that was presented.
From what I heard, there was more than just that question.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's
I
what
got
I heard.
I have all the,
Yeah.
if anybody wants to see it,
And I have all the
seven
video.
grade science class.
I'd be interested in learning the answers to some of the questions that was raised.
Especially, sorry, Doug,
Okay.
especially
No,
seeing
it's-
we were.
It's our meeting and Doug is speaking. Thank you.
Uh,
We can talk afterwards. I'm happy to talk afterwards.
That would be excellent, I appreciate that.
Thanks. I was really, to change the subject, I was just so happy the other night. It made me smile all weekend. The reception that the community gave the baseball team coming in. Fire trucks from, North Greenbush, Mountain View, Hopes Wanted, all over. Fire trucks, police agencies, different police agencies participated. Hundreds of residents along Route 43. I just felt real good that so many people felt good and supported our athletes and our students generally. But I was confronted by a parent at my place of work, and who said, now, you're gonna put up a sign on Route 43 where it says boys state championships. You better put up a sign for the girls to say the same thing. And you should put up a sign for 2015 where the girls also won a state, I believe it was the girls' state championship. I'm not sure if it was softball or basketball. But in any case, the person speaking to me wanted to make sure that we recognize all of the accomplishments, not only of our athletes on the sign, and he was referring to the sign coming in on Route 43 from Albany. Let's recognize that and get those up as quickly as possible. Next. I attended virtually the safety meeting with Sam. You okay? You want some more?
Been going on for a week.
Anyway, I'd just like to say that the safety plan was talked about, we examined it, and the committee passes it to the board for review and approval ultimately. The unfortunate part is that we can't really discuss the safety plan in public because it has many of our reactions to what happens, if this happens or if that happens, this is going to be our reaction. These are the ways we're trying to prevent, both in technology and with personnel support, certain things from happening in the buildings. And then how we react and what are the standing committees in that building in an emergency situation. So those are the sort of things that an emergency plan talks about without getting into any specifics. And I just wanted to say that the safety committee that I've been serving on for this year, and Sam and I will hopefully be able to serve on it jointly together next year, did a lot of work this year under Kate Dorgan, and I thought it was to be recognized again, that the amount of work that each of the buildings, principals, and Kate put into developing this plan. No plan obviously is foolproof, but I know we're implementing technology in our buildings and our building project. The first objective of the building project that was approved by the voters had to do with safety. And I want you to know that it's always on the forefront of our minds, at least my mind, when we talk about any of those expenditures and improvements in the building that we talk about safety. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Samantha?
So my team, we actually planned this, but we didn't. And I just will riff off that, and something that was included in at the end, Jim, of your presentation, and that I just is always at the top of my mind how I approach things. When you were taught emergency preparedness, one framework that you use is a chain. There's an error chain. No disaster, almost no disaster emergency happens as a result of one bad decision, one bad actor, one weak link. Sorry to use that reference. There's almost always a chain, almost even a web of weaknesses that put together. So I'm so sorry. This keeps happening. That's the bedtime alarm.
Oh.
That's
Time for bed. Yay.
Did you hear that, honey? Put the kids to bed. What are the chances I'm not watching The Simpsons? They are changed. And so Jim, you know, when you touched on safety, and I can't go into details, but when we discuss safety, and you know, certainly in light of kind of what's been happening over the last month, is to really take a comprehensive approach to all the various factors that go into, you know, a fire, an intrusion, a flood, what have you. And I do appreciate that is what's coming back to us, is this comprehensive approach of recognizing it's just not one weakness or another, and we fix that, we're good to go. It's continuous improvement, and it's a comprehensive approach to all the factors. I also my kids are not in Regents age yet. It's coming up for the big kids. And I want to wish them luck, and I want to tell them, you know, if you're listening, don't stress too much. You know, perhaps like good luck. It goes how it goes, and you know what we were talking about with SEL. Check in with yourself if you are feeling too much stress about exams. Take a deep breath. Do something you love. Take a walk. This will not define who you are. Good luck.
Thank you, Samantha.
Thanks, Sam. I actually have kids gonna take a couple Regents exams, so deep breath, everybody, deep breath. To the context of those statements that were made, I, like Doug, would like some additional context on that. I have a middle schooler, and frequently when these concerns are raised, I survey my middle schooler and my friends with middle school kids, and I am wondering about the universal nature of this. I don't believe that this is
Let me get an answer if it was universal.
Only seventh grade
Okay.
science.
I will
This
say
next
that, my
you guys
middle
have
schooler is not having the same experiences as other middle schoolers, so I would be interested in the context in that nature. To the rest of my board report, and I had written down so many things because since May 9th when we last met, our students are absolutely crushing it. The underclassmen awards that took place on May 17th, to all the students who received an award, congratulations. Your hard work is being recognized, and keep up the good work for your next year coming up. To the seniors who all received awards at the Senior Awards Night, congratulations. You're finishing up this chapter of your life and you're moving forward in a new direction, and we're very, very excited for you. For our music students who have been performing both at school and in public venues, you make us so proud. To our baseball team who is riding the high wave, congratulations. Outstanding achievements by all of them. Our Odyssey of the Mind team, I think it should go without saying that placing sixth probably doesn't sound like a lot until you know that there were over 30 teams in their division, in their problem, from all over the world, and they placed sixth. It's a huge achievement. And to that end, when you talk about music, when you talk about Odyssey, when you talk about sports, I think that it should be recognized that Averill Park has something very, very unique. We have, where I grew up, you had athletes, and then you had art kids, and then you had, drama kids, and everybody was sort of moved off in their little silos. But I think it should go without saying that we have a varsity baseball player who is also an Odyssey member, who is also our music student. And we have another baseball player who is also an epic drummer. While he doesn't do so for the district, he also garners enjoyment from music. We have a senior graduating who is a music and theater student who is going to college to study aerospace engineering. Hoorah, get it, sister. We create an environment in Averill Park that allows our students to express themselves over multiple avenues. And I think that that is unique to our community and should be commended. I want to give a shout out to our senior arts students. I attended the Senior Arts Gala the other night. Some of their art is still displayed on the walls of the school. Not all of it has been picked up. Art across different mediums. This is our way for our seniors to express themselves in a variety of ways, to some of them working through depression. Their bios are no longer on the walls. I wish they were, because I think that it gives context to their artwork, and it's really vitally important to understand that these are adults that are going out into the community that are hugely talented individuals. Ashley Bayer deserves another shout out. Her art is going to be on display for the entire country to see, and she comes from here. That's amazing. So aside from being a very talented artist, she's also an amazing person. I got a chance to speak with her. So I think that those students all deserve to be recognized. I want to say that I'm looking forward to participating in graduation next week. Just another step, hold on, breathe, Anne, you can do it. Just another step in this journey of being able to really celebrate our students. I think it's wonderful. Several people have mentioned to me how happy they are that we're having it at MVP Arena, so that there's no limitation on seating and everyone can, come and celebrate their student, and their friends can come and celebrate their student. I think it's really important. I know I'm long-winded, but I think it's important to highlight the positives. No one's perfect, but I think we can all work together to get to a better place. I want to once again wish all the best, Dr. Schaefer. I have your phone number, dude. I'm just saying. You might need to change that. And I want to welcome Adam, who's going to be coming onto the board. Looking very forward to working with you. And just congratulations to our students at the elementary level who are moving up to middle school and our middle schoolers who are moving up to high school. Every milestone that you make is an important part of your life and should be celebrated. So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Megan. Ian?
How do you follow that? Is there anything left?
Sorry.
We
love you though.
I do want to thank Coach Brooks and the varsity baseball team for showing up on behalf of AP. And Doug mentioned the parade, and of course it was in Dr. Franchini's superintendent's report, their success. And he did mention the letter that we received, I think it was from Endicott. That was the part that really struck me. Actually, there was two parts. First, the huge reception of the community when they came back. It's very moving for me. And I feel like, on the one hand, I'm gonna get off topic a little bit, but on the one hand, our community is like a big family. We love each other and we support each other and we cherish those celebrations together, just like a family would. But also like a family, we're not perfect and we fight and we need to work through some of the dysfunction. And when that comes to our attention, it is something that I want to work through and find out more and address, because we aren't perfect and we need to work together always to strive to be better. That was part one of the varsity baseball success, but I don't know, it just struck me as more important, that letter from that person. It shows this team showed up and represented our school in a positive way, a sportsmanlike manner. And that speaks volumes about their character, which I think will carry them into adulthood and more so than that win. Being a good person and having a good character is what makes better citizens, makes better people. And that's what we're putting out there. And I'm so appreciative of that in the work that Coach Brooks has done with this team, not only athletically successful, but also morally, character. Success is important to me. Yeah, the next couple of weeks, even the last couple of weeks have been overwhelming for me as a parent of a senior, my youngest, to see her graduate and move on and see her college ready and her peers career ready and ready to go. And wow, there's a lot of great events going on and these lasts that are really hitting me. I'm looking forward to graduation and I appreciate all the things you put together, the elementary walkthrough. I wish I could have been there to see it. You know, these events that we have at the end of the year to appreciate our seniors and send them on their way it's overwhelming. It's wonderful, but it's overwhelming. And I do appreciate what the district does for our students. One more note on the baseball. My husband also mentioned, you better see it on the sign. He's like, the sign. I said, what sign? And I forgot, when you come down into West End Lake, I'm pretty sure that there's a sign there. So he's like, well,
we don't do the signs.
he said, we should put it right in front of the high school. And I said, well,
We've been working with them on the basketball ones. We make them aware we're working, but the signs are actually the town's.
really?
Oh.
Yeah, so he said we should put it right in front of the high school, and I said, well, they usually turn up Gettle Road, and if you put it on 43, they won't see it and become intimidated right away, so we have to make sure they're intimidated early.
We're on that.
I know you are. So, looking forward to graduation. It's always such a wonderful event, and I'm glad to be a part of it, and sad too that this is the end for me as a parent, but beginning for many, and I share in those joys as part of this community, so thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Your last word?
I had to bring that up.
I did.
And believe me, I've been reflecting a lot on what to say, how to say it. Was also reflecting on the 12 years that you had to bring up. It really, at times, feels like it's a lot longer, but we've been through some really hard times, a lot of fun and rewarding times. 4 superintendents. That was a lengthy process too, and I think what was mentioned earlier is for those of us that moved in, I think you mentioned this, those of us who moved in out of town, we were attracted here by the quality of the school district. And being in a small community, it was amazing to me through the years, the distinctive quality of this district. The level of instruction with the teachers, the dedication of the administration, the achievements of our students over the years. It really would be nice to have some sort of cumulative tracking of our graduates to find out where are they now, what are they doing, what have they done. That would really be nice to see. There's really been some unique opportunities here for our kids. And sorry that I won't be continuing to help bring that along, but there are other ways that I can participate, like with the science curriculum, which I'm more than happy to do. So it won't be goodbye. I'll still be around. I do have some thoughts and expertise. Feel free to talk about non-confidential matters, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'll end this saying thank you to the community for your support over the years, and thank you to our present board members and Jesse and administration for the excellent work that you do. Take care.
Thank you, Peter. I did want to say congratulations to all our students and everything that's been discussed tonight by my colleagues. One thing, just want to make sure, I don't think I heard it mentioned, was Abby Wicks and her 4th place in her track and field event. So that's another thing we just need to celebrate, because our students are really amazing thing, and we're happy to liberally support them and be proud of them in that same manner. I did want to take a moment, because this is the last meeting of this school year, to thank the administration that has led us through another successful year. This year was not an easy one for lots of reasons, and that's not even counting the global pandemic. So we really appreciate your leadership and your guidance and your level-headedness and leading us through to get to this point in the school year successfully. So thank you. And Peter, I just want to say thank you. I can't thank you enough for what we've done together, what you've done when you were in this seat, and leadership you had, and the mentorship you provided me and others. And so I'm gonna miss you. So thank you. And
Still be around.
I know, but thank you for your service to the board, because 12 years is a long time, 12 plus years is a long time. So, thank you. All right, that concludes our meeting. Megan is making a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Samantha? Okay, all those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Yeah.